Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel. It is so good to have you here with me again. Let's sit together quietly for a little while, just like two friends who finally have a moment to breathe. Today, I want to talk about something that so many of us struggle with alone. You want to practice your English. You know it is important. But you are not in a class. You do not have a partner. And maybe, because of this, you feel stuck. Here's the truth, though. You can practice English alone. Not only that, but you can fall in love with the process. And by listening to this video right now, you are already improving your listening. So let's take a deep breath together and begin this quiet conversation. You have probably felt it before. That heavy feeling in your chest when you think about your English. You want to speak better. You want to understand more. But every time you sit down to practice, something stops you. Maybe you feel bored. Maybe you feel lost. Or maybe, and this is the quieter feeling, you feel ashamed. Ashamed that you have been learning for so long and still make mistakes. Ashamed that you cannot say the simple things you want to say. I understand that feeling. I have felt it too, not with English, but with other things in my life. That feeling of wanting to be better but not knowing where to start. That feeling of looking at other people who seem so natural and easy with their words. And you ask yourself, why is it so hard for me? Why do I still struggle? But here's something I want you to hear deeply. You are not alone in this. And you are not failing. You are just practicing in the wrong way. Or maybe you are not practicing at all because no one showed you how to do it by yourself. So let's change that today. Slowly. Gently. Without pressure. Think about the last time you tried to practice alone. What did you do? Maybe you opened a textbook and looked at the same page you saw last week. Maybe you wrote down some vocabulary words and tried to remember them. But after 10 minutes, you felt tired. Your mind started to wander. You looked at your phone. You made some tea. And then you closed the book and told yourself, I will try again tomorrow. Does that sound familiar? It sounds familiar to me because this is how most of us try to learn. We treat English like a subject in school. We think we need to study it. We think we need to memorize it. But English is not a subject. English is a way to feel things. It is a way to say what is inside you. When you treat it like a test, your mind closes. Your heart feels heavy. And practicing alone becomes a lonely, boring job. But when you treat it like a door to your own thoughts, then practicing alone becomes something else. It becomes a quiet gift you give yourself every day. Let me tell you about a person I knew. Her name was Elena. She was learning English alone in a small apartment in a big city. She did not have money for classes. She did not have friends who spoke English. Every evening she came home from work and she felt exhausted. Her feet hurt. Her head was full of noise from the day. but she wanted to learn. She really wanted it. So she sat at her small kitchen table and opened her notebook. At first, she tried to study grammar, but it made her feel worse. She felt stupid. She felt like she would never learn. One night, she was so tired that she just started writing without thinking. She wrote about her day. She wrote about the woman on the bus who smiled at her. She wrote about the rain outside her window. Her sentences were short. Her grammar was not perfect. But something happened in that moment. She forgot she was practicing. She was just telling her own story. And that night, she went to bed feeling a little lighter. The next day, she did it again. And again. Little by little, she started to notice something. English was becoming her friend. Not a test. Not a teacher. A friend who listened to her quietest thoughts. You can do the same thing. You do not need a textbook. You do not need a teacher. You need your voice. And you need to trust that your voice is enough. Let's think about how to do this, step by small step. But not like a lesson. Like a quiet conversation between you and yourself. Because that is what practicing alone really is. It is you, sitting with your own thoughts and giving them a new shape, a new sound, a new home in this language that you are still learning to love. Start with your mouth. I know that sounds strange, but listen. You have thoughts all day long. Little thoughts that pass through your mind like clouds. I am hungry. That was a long meeting. I miss my family. Why did she say that? I feel tired today. These thoughts come and go. Most of the time, you ignore them. But what if you didn't? What if when you are alone in your room or your kitchen, you said those thoughts out loud? Not to anyone, just to the air, just to yourself. Say it softly. I am hungry. That was a long meeting. I miss my family. No one is listening. No one is judging. It is just you and your voice. This is the simplest way to practice alone. And it works because you are not trying to be correct. You are not trying to impress anyone. You are just letting English come out of your mouth like water from a small tap. At first, the water might be slow. The words might feel strange on your tongue. That is okay. Keep going. Every time you say a thought out loud, your mouth learns a new memory. Your ears hear your own voice. And over time, your brain stops being so afraid. You might be thinking, but what if I say it wrong? What if my grammar is bad? I understand that question. I really do. That fear is so strong. It sits in your throat and stops the words from coming out. But here is the secret that no teacher ever told you. You are allowed to be wrong. You are allowed to sound strange. You are allowed to make mistakes. When you are alone, there is no one to correct you. There is no one to laugh at you. There is just you, practicing being a beginner. And being a beginner is a beautiful thing. It means you are trying. It means you are growing. Every mistake you make is not a failure. It is a small piece of evidence that you are alive and you are learning. So say the wrong words. Say the sentence that feels broken. Say it again tomorrow. One day, without even noticing, you will say it right, and that day will feel so good. But you cannot get to that day if you do not start saying the wrong things today. Let's go deeper. Practicing alone is not just about speaking. It is also about listening, but not the kind of listening you do in a classroom. Not the kind where you have to answer questions and understand every word. That kind of listening is stressful. It makes your heart beat fast. Instead, try a different kind of listening. A softer kind. Put on a podcast or a video, like this one, and just let the words wash over you. Do not try to understand everything. Do not stop to look up words. Just sit and listen. Let the sounds enter your ears. Let the rhythm of the language become familiar to you. Even if you only understand 20%, that is enough. Because your brain is learning without you knowing it. It is learning the music of English. The way words go up and down. The way sentences flow like a river. Over time, that music will feel normal to you. And when you speak, you will start to copy that music without even thinking. This is how children learn. They listen for months before they say anything. They just sit in the sound until it becomes a part of them. You can do the same thing. You just have to give yourself permission to listen without pressure. Think about your ears as a garden. Every time you listen to English, you are planting a small seed. You do not see it growing right away. The seed is under the soil, quiet and patient. But one day, you will open your mouth and a green leaf will appear. A word you never studied. A sentence that just feels right. That is the seed growing. That is your garden becoming alive. So be patient with your garden. Do not dig up the seeds to see if they are growing. Just water them every day with more listening. Soft listening. Gentle listening. Listening that does not demand anything from you. You can do this while you cook, while you walk, while you lie in bed before sleep. English can become the background music of your life. And one day you will realize that the background has become the front. You will understand more than you thought possible. Not because you studied harder, but because you listened softer. Now let's talk about writing. Writing alone is a powerful thing. It is private. It is safe. No one has to read what you write. No one will judge your mistakes. When you write alone, you are free. Free to be terrible. Free to try new sentences. Free to make a mess on the page. I want you to try something tonight. Get a notebook. Any notebook will do. It does not have to be beautiful. It just has to be yours. And at the end of your day, write 3 sentences about how you feel. Not what you did. How you felt. I felt tired today. I felt happy when I saw the sun. I felt lonely in the afternoon. That is all. 3 small sentences. Your grammar might be wrong. You might not know the past tense of a verb. That is fine. Just write the words as they come. The act of writing is the practice. You are training your hand to make the shapes of English letters. You are training your brain to turn feelings into words. Over time, you will start to notice patterns. You will see that you write the same mistakes again and again. That is good. That is valuable information. Those mistakes are your teachers. They are showing you what to learn next. But do not fix them yet. Just notice them. Say to yourself, "Oh, I always forget the S on the third person. That is interesting." Then close your notebook and go to sleep. Tomorrow you will write again. And slowly, without pressure, you will start to fix those mistakes on your own. One of the hardest things about practicing alone is the feeling that you are not making progress. You practice for a week. You practice for a month. And you still feel the same. You still make the same mistakes. You still cannot say what you want to say. This feeling is very real, and it hurts. It makes you want to stop. It makes you think that you are not good enough. But here is what is actually happening. You are in the middle. The middle is the longest part. The middle is where most people give up. The middle feels like nothing is changing. But everything is changing. It is just changing inside, where you cannot see it. Think about a seed again. Under the ground, the seed is working so hard. It is growing roots. Long, strong roots that go deep into the soil. You cannot see the roots. You only see the dark dirt. But without those roots, the plant will never stand up. You are growing your roots right now. Every day that you practice alone, even when it feels useless, you are growing roots. Your brain is making new connections. Your mouth is learning new movements. Your ears are learning new sounds. You just cannot see it yet. But one day, maybe when you are not even thinking about it, you will speak a sentence perfectly. It will come out of your mouth like a surprise. And in that moment, you will understand. It was all working. Every single day. The roots were growing the whole time. Let me share another small story. There was a man named Carlos. He worked in a restaurant kitchen. He moved to a new country 6 years ago. He still felt ashamed of his English. Every time a customer asked him something, he felt his face get hot. His words came out broken. He went home every night feeling small. One day he decided to try something different. He stopped trying to speak perfectly. Instead, he started talking to himself in the kitchen. While he cut vegetables, he said out loud what he was doing. "I am cutting the carrots. Now I am washing the tomatoes. These are small onions." No one was there. The kitchen was loud, but his voice was there, quiet under the noise. He did this every day for a long time, 6 months, a year. He did not notice any change. But one night, a customer asked him where the bathroom was. And without thinking, Carlos said, "It is down the hall, on the left, past the red door." The sentence was perfect. The words came out smoothly. The customer said thank you and walked away. Carlos stood there for a moment, holding a plate. His hands were shaking a little. Not from fear, from surprise. He did it. All those quiet hours in the kitchen had done something. The roots had grown. And from that night on, he started to trust himself a little more. Not because he became perfect, but because he saw that the slow work was real work. You are like Carlos. Even if you do not feel it yet, you are growing. Every time you say a sentence out loud to yourself, every time you listen to a video like this one, every time you write a feeling in your notebook, it is all adding up. It is all building something inside you. Do not let the quiet voice in your head tell you otherwise. That voice that says, you are wasting your time. That voice that says, you will never learn. That voice is not the truth. That voice is just fear wearing a mask. And you do not have to believe it. You can choose to believe something else. You can choose to believe that every small effort matters, that every mistake is a step forward, that you are becoming someone new, slowly, quietly, alone in your small room, but becoming all the same. Let's talk about the loneliness for a moment, because practicing alone can feel lonely. You sit by yourself. You talk to yourself. You listen to voices on a screen. And sometimes, in the quiet of the evening, you feel a deep ache. You wish there was someone there, someone to practice with, someone to correct you gently, someone to say, you are doing a good job. I understand that ache. It is human to want connection. But here is something I have learned. When you practice alone, you are not actually alone. You are spending time with yourself, the most important person in your life. You are learning to hear your own voice. You are learning to be patient with your own struggles. You are becoming your own teacher, your own friend, your own supporter. And that is a powerful thing. Because when you can be kind to yourself in English, you will never need anyone else to make you feel good enough. You will carry that kindness inside you. And then, when you do speak to other people, you will not be afraid. Because you already know that your voice matters, even when it shakes, even when it makes mistakes. It matters, because it is yours. Another thing you can do alone is to create a small world of English around you. Change your phone to English, just for an hour a day. Write your shopping list in English. Label things in your house with sticky notes. Mirror, chair, window, door. Every time you see the word, your brain sees it too. After a while, you stop translating. You just see the chair and think chair. That is a beautiful moment. That is when English stops being a foreign thing and starts being a part of your normal life. You can also sing. I know that sounds funny. But singing is so good for learning. Find a song you like. Look up the words. Sing along, even if your voice is not beautiful. Singing helps you say words without thinking too much. The music carries you. The rhythm helps your mouth move in new ways. And no one is listening. You can sing badly and loudly in your apartment. You can close your eyes and feel the words in your throat. This is practice. This is joyful practice. And joy is the best teacher there is. What about reading? You can read alone too. But do not read difficult books. Do not read the news with long, hard words. That will only make you feel tired. Read something simple. Read something that makes you feel something. Children's books are wonderful for this. The sentences are short. The stories are warm. Or read comments on videos you like. Short, real sentences from real people. Do not worry if you do not understand every word. Just read for the meaning. Read to feel the shape of the language. Read a little bit every day. Even 5 minutes is enough. Over time, your reading will get faster. Your eyes will move more smoothly. And one day, you will realize that you just read a whole page without stopping. That will be a good day. Celebrate it quietly. Smile to yourself. You earned that smile. I want to talk about the emotional side of practicing alone, because this is the part that no one ever mentions. Practicing alone will bring up feelings. Some days, you will feel hopeful. You will feel like you can do anything. Other days, you will feel so tired. You will feel like you have learned nothing. This is normal. This is human. Do not fight these feelings. Just notice them. Say to yourself, "Today I feel hopeful." Or, "Today I feel frustrated." Say it in English. Even that small sentence is practice. Your feelings are not your enemy. They are just visitors. They come and they go. Your job is not to feel perfect every day. Your job is just to stay, to keep practicing, even when it is hard. Especially when it is hard, because the hard days are the days that make you stronger. The days when you sit down to practice and you feel nothing, no motivation, no energy. Those are the most important days, because on those days, you are building discipline. And discipline is deeper than motivation. Motivation leaves you. Discipline stays. Discipline is the quiet voice that says, just 5 minutes, just one sentence, just open the notebook. And then you do it. And after you do it, you feel a little bit proud. Not loud proud, quiet proud. That quiet, proud feeling is the best feeling. It is the feeling of knowing that you showed up for yourself. Let's think about your environment. Where do you practice alone? Your space matters. It does not have to be fancy. It just has to feel safe. Find a corner of your room, a chair by the window, a spot on your bed. Make that your English corner. Keep your notebook there. Keep a pen there. When you sit in that spot, your brain will know. It is time to practice. It is time to be with English. Over time, that spot will feel like a friend. You can also use small objects to help you. Take a photo from your wall. Describe it out loud. There is a tree in this photo. The sky is blue. I think the photo was taken in summer. That is practice. Take an apple from your kitchen. Hold it in your hand. Say 3 things about it. This apple is red. It feels smooth. It smells sweet. That is practice. You do not need a textbook. You need your eyes, your hands, your voice, and the world around you. Everything you see can become a lesson. Everything you touch can become a sentence. This is how you make English your own. Not by studying someone else's words, but by using your own words to describe your own life. I know that some of you are thinking about your accent. You worry that you do not sound like a native speaker. You worry that people will not understand you. Let me say something to you about this. Your accent is not a problem. Your accent is a map of where you have been. It tells the story of your first language, the sounds you grew up with, the music of your mother's voice. That is beautiful. Do not try to erase it completely. Try to make yourself clear, yes. But do not hate your accent. Your accent is part of you. When you speak English with your accent, you are speaking English as yourself, not as a copy of someone else. And that is so much more interesting. So practice the sounds that matter. Practice the words that are hard for your mouth. But do it with love, not with anger. Your mouth has learned one way of moving for your whole life. It will take time to learn new movements. Be patient with your mouth. It is doing its best. And over time, it will learn. Not perfectly, but well enough. Well enough for people to understand you. Well enough for you to say what is in your heart. And that is the goal, not perfection. Connection. Let's go back to the beginning for a moment. Remember Elena from earlier? The woman who wrote in her notebook every night? She kept going. Even on the hard days, even when she felt stupid, she kept writing. After 2 years, she got a new job, a job where she had to speak English every day. She was scared. She was so scared. But she did it anyway. On her first day, she made many mistakes. She felt her face get hot. But she did not run away. She stayed. She said sorry for her mistakes and kept trying. And at the end of the day, her new boss said something to her. He said, "Your English is not perfect, but you are so easy to talk to. You listen so well. You try so hard. That is more important than perfect grammar." Elena went home that night and cried a little. Not sad tears, relieved tears. All those nights alone at her kitchen table, all those broken sentences, all that quiet effort. It had made her into someone who could connect with other people. And that was the real goal. Not perfect English. Real connection. You are on the same path. Maybe you are at the beginning. Maybe you are in the messy middle. Maybe you have been practicing alone for years and you still feel unsure. Wherever you are, I want you to know something. You are doing a good job. You really are. Learning a language alone is so hard. It takes so much courage. Most people do not even try. But you are trying. You are here, listening to these words, looking for a way forward. That is not nothing. That is everything. That is the seed of change. That is the first root growing in the dark soil. Do not stop. Do not give up. Keep speaking to yourself in the kitchen. Keep listening to voices on your phone. Keep writing your small, broken sentences in your notebook. Keep sitting in your English corner. Keep describing the apple, the tree, the photo on the wall. Keep going. Because one day, without warning, you will open your mouth and the words will come. Not perfectly, but freely. And in that moment, you will feel something you have never felt before. You will feel proud of yourself, not because you are perfect, but because you never stopped, because you stayed, because you trusted the slow, quiet, lonely work. And that work brought you here. So tonight, before you go to sleep, I want you to do one small thing. Take out your notebook. Write one sentence. Just one. It can be about anything. I feel tired. Today was hard. I am proud that I listened to this video. That is enough. Write it slowly. Say it out loud. Hear your own voice. And then close your notebook and put it next to your bed. Tomorrow you will write another sentence. And the day after, another. This is how you build a new world. One sentence at a time. One sound at a time. One quiet, brave moment at a time. You can do this. You are already doing it. And I am so glad that you are here, practicing with me right now in this quiet space. Thank you for listening. Thank you for trying. Thank you for not giving up on yourself. Now, as we come to the end of our time together, I want to leave you with one simple truth. You do not need to be perfect to be powerful. You just need to be present. Every day that you show up for your English, even for 5 minutes, you are becoming stronger. You are building a bridge between who you are now and who you want to become. That bridge is built slowly with small, honest efforts. And no one can build it for you. But you do not have to build it alone. I will be here with you in these videos. Other voices will be here too. And most importantly, you will be here for yourself. That is enough. That is more than enough. So keep listening. Keep practicing. Keep trusting that every small step matters. And when you feel tired, remember this moment. Remember these quiet words. You are growing roots, and roots are strong. I believe in you. I truly do. Come back soon for another quiet conversation. Until then, take care of yourself. Be gentle with yourself. And keep going. Just one more sentence. Just one more day. You have got this.